Greetings, fellow tea explorers. How are you? Thank you very much for stopping by. Ollie, the tea guru here, just sipping down on some very tasty autumn danchong, freshly sourced, may I add, from Guangdong. One of the many new tea additions we are adding to the Guru site for the encroaching festive season. So in this episode of Guru News, we will be talking about the recent additions to the website, what's already on there and what you can buy right now, what's coming up very shortly on the website in the next week or two. But first I'm going to let you know about the 2 discount codes. It's very simple. There are 2 discount codes. The first code is for 8% off anything on site. Now there are some individual items which are listed where you can receive a further 12%, so that's a total of 20% off some items. Let's have a brief rundown of what these items are.
Taiwanese Sun Moon Lake Assam black tea. 2009 charcoal roasted Tiguanyin. 2005 Gushu Huangpain. Munghai Tea Factory 7542 2011. Munghai Tea Factory Spring 2011. Iwu Mountain Tea Iwu Gushu 2012. Iwu Mountain Tea Early Spring 2012. 2006 Aged Fooding White Tea Cake.
Now, if you found yourself on the Tea Guru website, all you need to do is go into the discounted tea section and you can temporarily find these individual 20% off teas in that section. So you need to add both codes to the shopping cart and you will get your full 20%. Now, I have 3 cakes of the widely anticipated Guru pressings for this year. 3 in and more coming. More will be coming in a week or two. There will be some autumn pressings as well. There's a Gushu involved in the autumn pressing. But let's have a quick look. The first one is Asbo. Now, if you're British, you'll know what Asbo means. If you're not from Britain, then do a quick Google search. You'll find out what Asbo means. So Asbo is a spring 2018 Yisheng purple tea. It's plantation. The reason why I chose this is it's still very wild in nature, but it's not sort of in your face and crazy. It's kind of got a very light, delicate way about it, but the wild purpleness is still there. So I kind of see this as it's not a brash purple. It's kind of a more sort of elegant purple, and because it's plantation, it's not going to be too pricey. Asbo is on the site right now, ready to go. Second in line is Pu'er ? Pu'er? 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 Okay, so this is a borderline tea. I love the story behind this. It's a dashu, so it's an old tree, around about sort of 80. The trees are estimated to be about 80 years old. You know, you never really know exactly how old these trees are, but it's a good estimate. Now, the garden where this tea was harvested is a recent discovery. So it's wild arbor, it's wild tree. 80 years old-ish kind of trees. Tea trekkers were going through the jungle. They were kind of navigating the borderline between Yunnan and Laos. So in the jungle, it's very hard to sort of determine your position at any one time. You're in the jungle, and the sort of trail will sort of twist and turn, and you can never really be too sure where you are. The garden that was discovered is actually still in dispute as to which country it lies in. If it's China, there, and Yunnan specifically, you could call this pu'er, sort of a legality if you like. Pu'er is a word for varietals such as this that is found in Yunnan and nowhere else. There is a possibility that this is technically Laos tea. Not that the tea trees know any different, but I can tell you, taste-wise, it's, if you've tasted the Laos Gushu that actually is still on the site, and the beautiful sort of fruity nature that the Laos Gushu has, this is kind of in between. You know, the Laos Gushu is a great tea and very bold and flavourful. This one is complex in the same way. It's got the sort of fruity character, but it also has some sort of pu'er traits as well. So I think this is really a true borderline tea. It's got that fruity sort of Laos flavour, but it's got a little bit more backbone behind it as well. A really good dashu on the site right now, and we're going to be doing videos on these as well. The other guru cake we have on is Bang Dong. If you're familiar with Bang Dong, it's a very popular region in Lincang, very close to Mongkou. So, you know, Bang Dong is a very popular area, and if you're after a raw pu'er that has strength, a good amount of astringency and bitterness, but being at the same time not too brash. It's brash and it's forward in flavour and bitterness, but it's not sort of overkill. Bang Dong is a great place to go to. So this Bang Dong is very flavour forward. It's a very strong tea, very heavy natured, but not being too brash. Aroma of kind of stone fruit, and also a slight stone fruit aftertaste in the coming infusions. It takes a little while for the tea to open up. Good sort of 3 infusions and things start coming out a bit more. But again, it's a dashu, old tree, 60 to 80 year old tea trees from Bang Dong region. A really good buy, a really good find. I'm so glad to have this in. Ah yes, the 2010 Wee Dong Tea Factory, that's a Mongkou. A very nice, older, aging Mongkou. That's in store, that's very nice. Ah yeah, 2016 Mini Ripe Tongs. You know, I haven't even tasted this one, but you know, it's more for sort of the novelty factor why I got these in. If I were to keep one of these, and I might keep one, it's a nice little extra to sort of adorn your tea table as a little tea pet. You don't want to get it wet, so don't pour tea over it. But it's nice, it's cute and it's small. So 7 mini tea cakes. 7 grams each, so kind of like 1 serving each. The ripe material is supposed to be fairly good quality, so you can brew it up if you want to. But with these little things, I mean, I don't think that's what the point is. I mean, yeah, sure, you can drink it, but I like the idea because there's a lot of people out there that, you know, they love to have a full they love to buy tea cakes, and I'm sure there's lots of people out there that want to have a tong, you know, a tong for themselves. And you know, for under 10 quid, £8.88, you get a tong. You know, it's a full-on tong. Teji grade 1, 2 and 3 and 5 grades. So Teji 1, 3 and 5 ripe. 2016, couple of years old. We've got a couple of new Tiguan Yins in 2018 autumn higher grade and 2018 definition grade. They are very fresh and they are in now on the website at 8% off. We have three new Da Hong Pos in. The definition grade, which definition grade Da Hong Po, basically what I'm looking for here is a thrifty version of Da Hong Po, but without those obvious flaws. You know, the really sort of cheaper ones will have sort of burnt, roasty, you know, where basically the roast has gone wrong. Marmite or sort of burnt sort of characteristics, very thin. You know, I picked a tea at a certain point where it's thrifty, but it's got good general characteristics of a Da Hong Po at a very good price. So the definition grade Da Hong Po, you can get 250 grams for £19. That's 250 grams for £18.95. Now I must stress, no way are these from Wuyu. No way are these from Wuyu. They're from Fujian province. But you know, to get Da Hong Po of any, you know, to get a Da Hong Po from Wuyu, you know, you're going to be paying a lot of money, minimum 50, 60, 70 pounds 100 grams. So I'm knocking this one out for how much is it? 100 grams, £9.50. But you know, if you haven't tried Da Hong Po before, or if you like the style of Da Hong Po on a thrifty budget, well, that's your one. I've got two more Da Hong Pos. Again, they're both spring 2018 of a higher grade. So you know, these ones are going. One is a medium roast and one is a light roast. So light roast and a medium roast. And the good thing about Da Hong Po is when you look at the leaves, you know, the super roasted ones will just be full on sort of brown. You know, a good roast for me is where you can see a touch of green in the leaves, which is especially apparent when on the wet leaves. You can see that sort of greening where, you know, it hasn't been completely roasted through. So, you know, there were two of these Da Hong Pos that were of a higher price point, of course. They're both good at, you know, the roasts are different. They're both good in their own way. What you're going to experience when you pay a bit more money towards Da Hong Po is the mouthfeel for a start. The mouthfeel is going to be thicker in the mouth. It's a lovely sort of balance between flavour and astringency, if you like. The roasted notes are going to come through more. There's going to be more complexity. You know, it's just a bigger, better experience. You're going to pay a bit more money. I mean, these two are going for, you know, 100 grams, it's over 20 quid for 100 grams. But you kind of get what you pay for with Da Hong Po. And I will be doing, actually, I think in the next sort of month, I'll be doing a Da Hong Po episode where I'm going to sit all these three teas down and go through them and sort of discuss what I think is, you know, the differences between them. So we'll have a nice tasting session of that soon. So up and coming, I have a very nice autumn 2018 Longjin or Dragonwell Green. Now I was asked this on social media when I popped up the picture. Did you notice a real difference between autumn and spring? And you know, it's quite hard because I'm not comparing apples with apples. You know, you can get Longjin of different grades. The cheaper ones I tried, what you're looking for in a Longjin is that beautiful chestnut kind of flavour coming through. Not just that, sometimes you'll have a bit of complexity going on in there as well. So, you know, just one tone isn't enough. You could sort of break that chestnut flavour down into different elements, and you're looking at different sort of a complexity within that overall chestnut flavour. The cheaper ones will have less of that flavour and on top of that, it's going to be more astringent. So more astringency, less flavour equals a worse Longjing for me. The cheaper stuff, or old Dragonwell, it's just going to be void of flavour altogether. That also comes into play when you're not storing it correctly. If it's vacuumed up, if it's sealed, you can put it in the fridge and that will last, a lot longer. When this comes through in a week or so, the 2018 autumn Longjing, it's going for $9.95 or 100 grams. And what I'm experiencing is a really nice level of flavour with very minimal astringency and bitterness. A level that I think where the astringency sort of complements the overall flavour. It's in no way in your face at all. It's very low. It's there. It just adds something. So I think we've struck a nice balance. And the flavour's all there. It's not going to discourage me from buying autumn Longjing ever again, because this is the first time I tried an autumn Longjing, and I wouldn't say I was blown away. It's a good tea, and if it tastes this good in autumn, hey, just get it. So that's coming in soon. I've got 2 Danchongs coming as well. Now this is really interesting because Danchong has just like all the other. Like all the other tea genres, has different markets. So the very cheap Danchong, if you like, volume, trade, part of area of Danchong, is it has all the bad elements of Danchong. The higher levels. You will experience some really interesting flavours, exotic fruit, papaya, tangerine, and all these other amazing flavours and aromas. What I find with the cheaper Danchong is lots of bitterness, lots of astringency, maybe some off flavours and off aromas as well. Danchong's one of those oolongs that it carries with it complexity and intriguing notes, but if you're going to go for the cheap stuff, it's either void in flavour or it's going to have lots of bitterness, astringency, and not really a lot of flavour going on, or just very harsh and strange flavours that are a bit strange. I think I've hit the button with the 2 that I'm buying in. We'll do some tastings on Danchongs, because if you guys appreciate Danchong and you buy some and it goes quickly, it will give me the confidence to invest in more expensive Danchongs for you guys. With the more higher grade Danchongs, and when I say more higher grade, we're talking sort of upper medium grade. They then sort the tea into boxes of around about 10 kilos, and they disperse them. When they do their harvest, they're also grading their tea. Each tea is a different varietal, maybe of a different garden, and so they break it all down. And when it gets down to vendor level, they might only have 1 box of a certain tea. And it's very tricky, because you need to sort of be there at the right time, and you need to buy it straight away, because it might not be there in 3 or 4 days, potentially, because once that box is gone, that's gone. So it's really interesting trying to track down certain teas. I'm getting samples sent to me from Guangdong, and it might take me a week to be from sending to drinking, and by that time I say, oh, I like that tea. Oh, it's gone. So it's very tough. So Danchong's one of those funny markets where the more higher end stuff is sometimes harder to attain. The trade stuff is available all day long, but I just don't dig it. But when you're looking at the leaf quality, I mean, it's very nice. Looks like hand picked, really. You can see the marks where it's been roasted, but a very light roast. And it's the roast which will bring out a lot of these beautiful flavours. So yeah, I've got a bit of a passion with Danchong, and we're going to delve into that a little bit more on a further episode. But I babble too much. Thank you very much for stopping by. Enjoy the discounts, enjoy the tea, and of course, happy cupping. Thank you guys. you.